All right, let's talk about one of New Zealand's biggest, most expensive puzzles. Why do we spend so much money on infrastructure, but often feel like we're not getting what we pay for? Well, there's a new government draft plan out there that aims to fix this, and we're going to break down exactly what it means for the industry pros building the country and for all of us Kiwis who just want our roads and hospitals to, work.
So right off the bat, here is the core of the problem. You've got two completely different realities. On one hand, New Zealand is a top-tier spender. We're in the top 10% of all OECD countries for how much of our national income we pour into infrastructure. But, and this is a huge but, when you look at the actual bang for our buck, we're in the bottom 10%. That is a massive gap between what we invest and what we get, and it's the reason we're talking about this today.
So, how did we get here? Why is it so incredibly hard and so expensive to get things built in New Zealand? Let's dig into the big issues that this new draft plan is trying to untangle.
Now, this isn't some abstract number floating around in Wellington. It breaks down to about $4,500 for every single person in this country. Every single year. So when we talk about getting poor value, that's not just a headline. It's a cost that every one of us is feeling.
And this number, this just perfectly shows the kind of complexity we've tangled ourselves up in. Think about it. New Zealand has a population roughly the size of Greater Sydney, but we've created this incredible regulatory maze for ourselves. We have over 1,175 different land use zones. And Japan, a country known for efficiency, they have just 13. 13! That contrast right there shows you one of the biggest, most expensive hurdles our builders are up against.
And all that complexity, it comes with a massive price tag. We are spending $1.3 billion a year just on the paperwork, just on the process of getting projects consented. That's money out the door before a single shovel even hits the ground. It's just a staggering amount of friction built right into the system, and it drives up the cost for absolutely everyone.
Okay, so that's the problem. It's big, it's expensive. So the government is trying to make a major pivot. The best way to think about it is like this. The old way was like daydreaming about some amazing overseas holiday. The new way is about having a detailed itinerary with the flights booked and the hotels paid for. It's a real shift from a high-level vision to a concrete, actionable plan.
The first part of this was back in 2022 with the New Zealand Infrastructure Strategy. Now, this was the big picture dream. It was a 30-year vision document. It set out these huge goals, right? A carbon-neutral economy, affordable housing, safer communities. It was all about defining the why. Why are we even doing this?
And that brings us to now, and the draft 2025 National Infrastructure Plan. This thing is all about the how. It's designed to be a practical, tactical guide. It introduces actual tools and gives the industry what it's been asking for, forward guidance, to make sure that big vision actually happens. So the whole game is moving from just aspirational goals to real-world execution. So you can see how it all flows together. You start with the vision from the 2022 strategy. That's our destination. That vision then directly informs the 2025 plan, which is the detailed roadmap for execution. And that plan uses new tools to make sure we stay on track so we can finally achieve those goals. It's all about creating a clear, logical pipeline from a good idea to a finished, working piece of infrastructure.
Now, this new plan isn't just another report to sit on a shelf. It's built around a whole new set of data-driven tools. The whole point is to create a solid, evidence-based reason for every single investment decision. And for all you industry professionals out there, this next part is really going to change how you engage with government projects.
Okay, so the two big tools at the heart of this are the National Infrastructure Pipeline and the Infrastructure Priorities Program, or the IPP. The pipeline, that gives us a transparent nationwide view of all the projects in the works, and the IPP, you can basically think of it as a new readiness checklist, an independent check to make sure the biggest, most important projects are actually good to go before they get a single dollar.
And believe me, this isn't just theory. Just look at the sheer scale of data and teamwork that's gone into this. The National Infrastructure Pipeline is already tracking over 8,100 active projects. That's from more than 110 different organizations. And since 2020, it's tracked over 22,000 projects through their entire life cycle. This is a massive living data set that frankly just didn't exist before.
So we have these new tools, we've got all this data, but how does that actually solve our bang for buck problem?
Well, it all comes down to creating a really tough filter to make sure only the best, most well-thought-out projects actually get the green light.
And that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? What does all of this mean in the real world? How does a pipeline or a priorities program actually lead to a better road, or a more resilient water system, or a hospital that gets built on time and on budget? This right here is that new filter in action, the Infrastructure Priorities Program, the IPP. It forces every major project to answer 3 critical questions. First, strategic alignment. In plain English, does this project actually solve an important problem for New Zealand? Second, value for money. Is this really the smartest, most cost-effective way to solve it? And third, deliverability. Can we actually build this thing successfully? Answering these questions right up front is how the plan aims to weed out those expensive, badly planned projects before they ever get off the ground.
And this is where it gets really, really important for everybody tuning in. This is not a done deal. This document isn't set in stone. It's a draft, and the Commission is actively asking for feedback from the industry and from the public.
And that's not me saying that. This is a direct quote from Te Waihanga, the Infrastructure Commission. They are literally asking you, what have we got right and what have we missed? So for all the engineers, the planners, the construction leaders listening, this is your moment. This is your chance to tell them what you think will actually work on the ground. And for every Kiwi, it's a chance to have a real say in the future of our country.
Ultimately, this plan gives us a framework, a new set of rules to help us make smarter choices. But the choices themselves, well, those still need to be made by all of us. And it leaves us with the fundamental question. As we try to go from just being a big spender to a smart builder, what kind of future do we actually want to build for New Zealand?